Atlanta is one of the more popular cities in America. It's a lot of opportunity, so they say, in Atlanta. There's movies, there's comedies, there is strippers, and there's a lot of other stuff too, like business. And then you have a lot of black people coming there to find a new set of friends, new sets of industries, and things to do. However, Atlanta has been on the decline. A lot of crime happening in Atlanta, and a lot of black women and a lot of black men are unhappy after moving to Atlanta. Now, I want to play this particular clip of this young lady who is upset about what's going on in Atlanta. And let me play that clip there.
So, can y'all do me a favor and stop moving to Atlanta? We are seriously overcrowded at this point. Car accidents have gone up. Crime has gone up. Homelessness has gone up. They have to build high rises and apartment buildings instead of houses now. Traffic is freaking ridiculous. Grocery stores be packed. All because y'all acting like this is the only place in America that you can move to. Pick somewhere else.
I then want to play a Detroit woman's response to living in Atlanta, and then a native of Atlanta responding to her about Atlanta.
Okay, so ever since I moved to Atlanta, people are asking like, do you like Atlanta? Do you like Atlanta? No, I do not like Atlanta.
Then leave. Just leave. Because I think I speak for every Atlanta native when I say, we ain't asked y'all to come here. And we tired of the traffic too. And we tired of y'all acting like tourists in the clubs. We tired of all that stuff too. And you, ma'am, you are a prime example. Because let me tell you something. The only person that feel like they got to keep up with the Joneses is the out-of-towners. Because look, I've been here my whole life. I've been broke in Atlanta. I've been up in Atlanta. I done been every financial situation in Atlanta. I done scammed. I done sold a little weed. I tried. It wasn't a life for me, okay? I live in Buckhead, baby. My rent is $1,800. That is not expensive. That is not keep up with the Jones worthy, okay? The nightlife, the clubs, yes, that is cool. We are getting sections, but that's just what we do. If you can't pull 5 homeboys, 5 homegirls together and get you a section, then that's on you. And look, if you ain't bad enough to get in the section, that is also on you. Baby, I'm sorry that you from out of town and you don't know how to finesse your way into a nigga section, man. But look, everybody in the city, they know how to finesse their way into a section, huh? Come on now. And then you said the men's leading line is, oh, come on, baby, let me take care of you. Now, I ain't gonna lie. The trick culture out here is ridiculous. But look, we know what we want and we willing to pay for it. I don't think that's a bad thing. And yeah, Hellcat Scat Packs, that was 2018, 2019, 2020. Whenever they was giving all the stimulus money out, that was then. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can get one of them. You know what I'm saying? You can go clock in at Wendy's and come up on a little Hellcat Scat Pack, but we're going to separate yourself. You know what I'm saying? The McLaren, the Phantom, the Cullinan. That's what's going to separate you. Just like you can have a luxury apartment, but what's going to make you stand out? The penthouse, the mansion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players in the city, they just want to stand out. They don't want to be considered a Hellcat Scat Pack motherfucker. They want to be a motherfucking Rolls Royce, a motherfucking a Wraith Whipper. You dig? Come on, man. This the South, man. You dig? We gonna come with a lot of Southern hospitality. We gonna come with a whole lot of flexing. You dig? We gonna come with a whole lot of lingo, a whole lot of drip. And if you don't like it, you can leave. They got flights, Greyhounds, mega buses leaving out this motherfucker every day. You can leave. But you love it here. So you're not going nowhere. Welcome to Death Row, bitch. Oh, man.
So guys, I just want to kind of deal with that. And I myself was going to move to Atlanta because Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, wanted me to come there. But this is kind of what I feel. People that came to Atlanta felt like maybe where they were was holding them back, only to come to Atlanta and figure out that maybe it wasn't your city or your state that was the problem. Maybe you're finding out now that you're the problem. And I think what happens is, for a lot of women who wanted to get away from their city and come to Atlanta, I think that you didn't know that you were coming into the most competitive market on planet Earth as a single woman. And that really is the reality. That's why she's saying, please stop coming to Atlanta. I understand there's traffic. I understand there's that, right? But if you're competitive, that doesn't matter. Who cares? There's traffic in LA. There's traffic in Lagos. There's traffic in New York City. Traffic in Philadelphia. The Bay Area has a lot of traffic. Prices are rising everywhere. The reality is that there's more competition from good looking, beautiful women. That's really what it's about. That's what it's about. And the men in Atlanta have a whole lot of options. And Atlanta is going to force some of these ladies out here to get their stuff together. Now, the young lady was talking about, in Atlanta, it's expensive. So the older guys are telling women this is what they'll do for them and all of that to take care of them and be with them. Like nails can cost $600 times 2. Well, I mean, here's what the reality is. If you sucked in your own city and nobody probably wanted to wife you up there, going to Atlanta is not going to really change your whole situation, because Atlanta just has a lot of different people, a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of everything else. So why did you feel like your situation was going to change? And if you can really be thinking about this, you don't really see a lot of black men complaining about Atlanta so much. Whenever you see people talking about Atlanta on social media, it's always black women. Now, black women in Georgia, I mean, you have a lot of black women successful in Georgia. You have Stacey Abrams, and she almost won the governorship and all this stuff. Why are black women complaining about Atlanta so much? Because it's just the law of economics. There is supply and demand. There are not as many eligible black men in Atlanta as there are eligible black women in Atlanta. And it puts black women in a situation where if they want to stand out, they'll have to compete. And a BBL just won't do the job, because everybody has a BBL in Atlanta. A big butt that you normally have won't do the job because, well, big butts are always in Atlanta. And also, being pretty won't do the job because, there are a lot of pretty women in Atlanta. So then now what will do the job in Atlanta to get a man, a high quality man? You actually have to do the work. Yeah, you actually have to have value for a man. You actually have to be able to be a presentable lady, because you're going to get beat to the punch by a lot of different women from different backgrounds, because it's not just black women just in Atlanta. You have Asian women, you have Georgia Tech, you have Georgia State, you have so many other universities there in Atlanta. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? I mean, you have everything in Atlanta. And if you're not going to do that, you're going to find yourself slowly behind. You have Emory University in Atlanta, and not to mention you have a huge growing African community in Atlanta. So now stop telling women to come to Atlanta if you don't want to compete. Life is about competing, and women are going to have to not only compete for the resources in Atlanta, you're going to have to compete for the men there also. It might not be the nice thing to say, but it would be the same thing if men went to Alaska, where you have very few women in Alaska and more men. It's going to make the men compete harder for these women, right? Because a lot of these guys are working in oil and gas, and these women are out there. You have to be somebody bringing value to the table. If not, you're not going to be partnered up. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.